There's no doubt my voice is going to be going after today. After hours, Etsy reported some earnings, down 8%, but this is after being up 7%, 7.5% in the normal trading session, so nearly back to where it started off for the day, actually. So right around there, nothing too crazy. The thing shot up. There's a lot of excitement about it, obviously, because if we think about today's current market environments, we're talking about a time in which these e-commerce stocks are really the most beneficial acceptors of this. They love this. It really seeks to benefit them and increase their client base. So Etsy was one of those that I was kind of excited for. They have a big opportunity right in front of them where if they capture this, they could be doing really well. You see from a GAAP EPS perspective, 10 cents, missed by 9 cents, half the profit they were expecting. So definitely one thing that we need to look into. Revenue of $228 million, beat by $8 million, 8.72, up 37% year over year, or 34.7% year over year, I should say. Definitely good improvement there, and you saw the stock was actually up previously after hours, right after close when they reported this. Those are good numbers in terms of revenue, and it's not unexpected. I saw it coming, just due to the fact that there's a lot more demand right now for these platforms. There just is. A lot more people are going to be doing business on these type of platforms like Etsy. So, general merchandise sales here up 32%. Net income down 60% year over year. And adjusted EBITDA up 10% year over year. Interesting. The company ended the quarter with 2.814 million. Very specific number there. 2,814,000 active sellers and 47.748 million active buyers. Interesting to see what those look like overall, and we'll see that for sure. They did withdraw their full year guidance, not unexpected. So we're going to take a look at their presentation and get some of these ideas. So they moved quickly to protect their team. Obviously, this is an interesting thing. I don't know. They did they pulled the Donald Trump here. They made a timeline. Exciting for them. I mean, that's good for them, right? There's no video to go with it, so I'm sorry. It's not as exciting as Mr. Donnie's was. So from GMS perspective, you see very good year-over-year growth here. Very good year-over-year growth. Obviously not near what quarter four would see. Again, as I mentioned with all of these type of companies, quarter four is the massive quarter for them. It's the biggest quarter because they're going to see the most demand. People are going to be buying a lot more stuff in quarter four during the winter and Christmas months. Just what you expect. Christmas months, I wish. Don't we all wish? I'm not young enough to say that anymore, but it would be nice. Revenue from that perspective, you see a nice 34.7% year-over-year growth. Very nice. And 24.1% margin. Adjusted EBITDA, $55.1 million. And you see as the chart on the bottom right, it's looking good, all things considered. Looking darn good. April was extraordinary, as we are obviously expecting. And they specifically mentioned this, sales of non-mask items were up 79% year over year. But April was not in this quarter. Just going to let you mention that. You have to know that. April was not in this quarter. Mask sales were $133 million alone, but the non-mask sales were still up 79%. That's just crazy. And Etsy is really one of the biggest beneficial for this mask thing too. If we talk about people making masks, Etsy is one of the best places for people to buy them, buy these unique custom masks. It just is. It's pretty exciting, all things considered. They're doing a good job here, working on capturing that market. So that's exciting if you're an Etsy shopper for sure. In April, you see people searching for masks shot up in April as the CDC recommended using cloth face coverings, and people, they don't want to get the medical ones. They just want to get a nice stylish custom one, so that way if they're forced to wear it, they get a nice one. So for the first weekend of April, first weekend of April generated over 2 million mask related searches on their website. Gosh, that's crazy. They have rapid mobilization. They created banners and automated filters, restrained search engines within hours and within days. they did everything they could to address these demand surges. As a result, Etsy sellers sold a lot of masks in April. We sold over 12 million masks just alone in April. That's crazy. And people are still buying masks, just being 100% honest with you. I know we're at the point where we're reopening things, but people are still buying masks, and you see that demand didn't really decrease that much here. It's been a steady decrease from their perspective from what they're showing. That's crazy. That's crazy. If face masks were a category, it would have been the second largest category in April if it existed. That is insane. That is just crazy to see. This created an influx of new buyers, which create new opportunities to build loyalty. Again, this is an opportunity that management needs to take advantage of. This company could extremely benefit from this. It'd be crazy. 6.5 million new buyers and those who have not purchased for a year or more. Repeat purchase rate of 32%. 32% of mask buyers had a 14-day repeat purchase rate, and they probably bought a different style of mask too, because people love having multiple colors of mask. It's just like freaking a shirt. It's just like a shirt. If it's a mandatory piece of fabric, people want the stylish version. It's crazy. That's just crazy. So they added another of the same slide, in case you were curious. That's Etsy for you. Let's forget about that. So they saw broad demand in many areas: home decor, craft supplies, and gifting. More people have more time on their hands. They're going to work on their home, and they're going to work on crafts. They're going to work on gifting, giving gifts out. Doesn't make, it makes sense, all things considered. So, and there are not many alternatives, so they had to turn to e-commerce, and Etsy's one of the best for that, especially homemade stuff. They're pivoting their brand strategy, messaging, and spend to support sellers. So again, small businesses, a lot of them went out of, a lot of them probably lost their businesses. So they might turn to an e-commerce platform. And Etsy, if they could sell their merchandise on Etsy, well, why don't they? They give it a shot. So Etsy is open to business, offers everyday essentials, and supports small businesses by shopping on Etsy. Again, Etsy's most things that people have handcrafted. These are people selling stuff that they've made themselves. These aren't big corporations selling this stuff. Very exciting. I mean, Etsy's in the forefront of this right now. So they're pivoting merchandise to elevate trending categories like home inspiration, home activities, self-care, gifting, and everyday. Etsy, every day they show masks on there as a category. That's just everyday type things you might need. Your lotions, stuff like that. They have a new TV campaign. I don't watch television, but I don't know. Their slogan obviously being always open, trying to get more people who are out of work knowledgeable about Etsy, which is very smart. Now is the time to spend more on ad spend. They're engaging with buyers using new CRM tools, which are customer service marketing automation. So exciting stuff. So their new tools, really, as far as artificial intelligence too, it can determine what someone might want based off their purchase history, which is interesting. It's their right to win. They're the best-in-class search and discovery, human connections. They're a trusted brand, and they have a collection of unique items. They're seeking to just dominate. They're leveraging deep learning. Again, this is artificial intelligence. So if you searched for floral dress, it knows to make a connection here, to bring up the same products for typing the same thing. I don't know. Regardless, it's a search engine, okay? It's what Google does. They're doing it. Good for them. They give reviews more prominence, inspiring trust in the buyer. So they're showing reviews right on the front page when you're looking at something, so you can tell if a product is garbage or if they're getting scammed. Etsy sellers are innovative as new inventory emerges, and they have a new advertising approach, more selling control and more scalable for Etsy. Working on offsite ads. Interesting stuff. Normally they don't do that. Stuff on Google, Facebook, Instagram. Again, Facebook, as I mentioned, that's why you like Facebook. These companies are going to be advertising on Facebook big time. So keep commerce human. That's cool. Cool slide there. I don't wonder who designed that. Yeah, we had a solid first quarter. Then we go back into the first quarter, as you mentioned. And really, that's going to be your January, February, March. But they really are striving to talk about this April. They love April because April's been massive for them, and it's going to be a massive time. Next quarter is going to be beautiful for them. It's going to be beautiful for them. Marketplace made up of most of their stuff. Service revenue, it's going to be what's paid by the sellers, naturally. The buyers are going to make up most of this marketplace revenue. So active buyers rose 16% year over year, and habitual buyers rose 22% year over year. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the difference in year over year improvement. Definitely pretty cool. So, broad-based demand and overall momentum for the Etsy marketplace. Again, they expect even more mask-related items to continue growing into May. Even is what they're showing here, and total. A lot of it's driven by this mask-related type items. So, the do-rags, face masks, bandanas, stuff like that. Normally, stable and predictable cohorts experience a meaningful inflection. Just crazy stuff going on here. So they're really focused on brand and marketing and incremental product investments through including search and frequency, and then one-time investments to support sellers are going to be off-site ad fees. They're going to waive them. Bill payment deferrals, seller resources and support, and listing and ad credits. That's pretty cool for them. Cash balance, they're saying right now they have around $898 million in cash as of the end of the quarter. We're going to look at that, that's for sure. So, very exciting. As far as headwinds, economic environment, they say could hurt them, and job losses as people spend less, and consumer confidence, people might spend less. But there's a lot of, again, mask sales, related sales, new buyers, offline, switching to online shopping, competitive dynamics. People have demand. It's pent up. They can't go out to shop and buy the stuff, so they're going to buy it wherever they can. Gifting, stimulus checks, and business closures. And don't forget taxes. Tax refunds, too, are a big thing for them. Quarter two, they're expecting general merchandise growth of 80 to 100%. What? Revenue growth of 70 to 90%. Son of a gun. And adjusted EBITDA of 20 to 27%. Not that beautiful in terms of that perspective, but good. Very good stuff. Are they going to show me the balance sheet? Oh, baby. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. We care about these total assets of $1.5 billion on this company. Pretty nice. Total liabilities, though, of $1.1 billion. The balance sheet's not beautiful on this company, but I'm super hyped for what this company has to offer. There's no doubt that you think this company's not at the forefront of everything going on right now. Now, I think one thing you can mention here, one thing obviously they're missing that EPS line is the valuation goes down in this company. But this company makes a profit, and they're trading at a forward PE due to this impact here of 129, but previously it was around 40. So valuation isn't beautiful on this company, but I think short term this company has a lot to offer for shareholders. Long term, it's in the air. I think they will overall see demand long term. Your short term demand is going to be an interesting one for sure. But overall, this company's on the forefront of this, and they're going to do a great job here. They're going to succeed very well. As far as valuation, it kind of goes out the window when we're talking about companies like this who are just going to be in the forefront of the new era of business, right? It's going to be interesting to see how they do. I'm not a buyer right now at these levels. We would like to see, in my opinion, this thing go, let's see, you think about it, year to date, this thing was up freaking 70% so far. If you bought in the levels of 30, you're very happy, right? And I probably would not purchase this thing until it got back into the 40s. just for valuation perspective. But this is a short-term play for sure. It could be a decent short-term play. Yeah, it could be a decent short-term play for you if that's what you're interested in. So go ahead and take a look at Etsy. It's very nice company.